Welcome everyone, how you doing? Hopefully you all are doing well out there. It's a pleasure to have you all back joining. We've got some incredible action tonight. My voice is actually... Is my voice loud for you guys? My voice is definitely loud for you guys. 1 second. Is that better? Nope. Is that better? That might be better for all of you. I think that's a lot... it's still a little loud for you guys. 1 second. I changed up something with my mic. Last time we had some issues here, so I'm going to change things. I'm going to make myself a lot quieter for you guys so that you don't have to worry about me. There. That's a little bit lower, I think. Yeah, that's a lot better. Sorry about that, everyone. Absolutely. The first thing I do is I come in and I immediately blast your ears. Hopefully you all are doing well. Welcome to the Spotty Stream tonight. As you get to see, we have our little schedule pulled up for all of you guys. Our first match, actually a match that we had scheduled since last week, and an Advent Cup from the Ascent Tournament Series. Here tonight with Wyffindor Leftovers taking on Wyffindor Wyfflash in a match that would ordinarily be quite interesting, and it's now even more interesting. Tonight we'll have another matchup between two teams of the same org with 100x Royals taking on 100x 35 Mist. That'll be another really good match. That's going to be a really fun match because that's part of the Rocket League Series, which we have not seen in a good couple weeks, probably a couple months by this point. But for us, again, our first match, Wyffindor Leftovers, Wyffindor Wyfflash, and what a great group we've seen here. Again, ordinarily I wouldn't have much to talk about for these rosters, but I have a lot to talk about now. We saw both these teams in the Wyffindor House Gauntlet not that long ago, only a few days ago really at this point, where Leftovers, unable to get by day one, only were able to find a win over with Guardian Leviosa, so they're still struggling as a team to just find that kind of voice, whereas for Wyffindor Wyfflash, a team that has that experience with each other, they got second in that tournament, only losing to Wyffindor QC in a Game 7, so Wyffindor Wyfflash are definitely a good team as well here tonight. This is going to be a really fun one. Wyfflash are the definite favorites here, but we'll see how things go. They didn't play each other in that tournament, though. They did not play each other on either of those 2 days. Again, Wyfflash had an auto-buy to day 2, so they didn't have to play on day 1. Didn't get to meet the Leftovers, so a very interesting position to be in, but again, they are still the favorites. They are considered the stronger team here. As again, we get things sorted out, underway. Hopefully all of you are doing well out there. Thank you all so much for joining in for our match tonight. This is again a week 1 match. We are in week 2 right now, but again, due to these teams both having had to schedule their match late, this is actually a week 1 match that's just scheduled a little bit later than usual. So these teams in their week 1 match in week 2, they have been given the ability to do that here, as we are going to get them in here very, very soon. Both teams with a 0-0 record each. And, well, it's again a great place to get things going on. Again, it's still the very beginning of the ATS seasons, and for the Advent Cup, sponsored by House Wyffindor, so even better we get to see the sponsor, 2 teams of the sponsor. They're one of the biggest orgs in the tournament here. 6 teams in the Advent Cup, 1 in Ascendant. None in Apex, though, which is quite surprising. But they have teams all over the place here. As, speaking of, the players have already wanted to join on in. So we're going to get our match started up in just a few moments as we get things up and ready for our best of 5. Wyffindor Leftovers take on Wyffindor Wyfflash in our best of 5 matchup. A match that we actually didn't get to see as part of the Gauntlet. We got to see almost every matchup imaginable in that Gauntlet. We got to see so many different teams. Again, we got to see all 6 Advent Cup teams in one event. But for Wyffindor Wyfflash, again, who got second, they didn't have to play against Leftovers in those last 2 days. Now, admittedly, the Leftovers, as a team, still feel like they're struggling to find that voice. But it's a best of 5, it's a shorter matchup, and maybe since that, you know, their performance in that tournament, they've been able to improve. This Leftovers team is one that definitely has had some struggles in the past with forming their roster. Hoping to again try to solidify things even more, as they will get this play upfield. Zeal's touch will go straight to CeeLo, and we haven't mentioned too much. CeeLo was one of the star players on day 2. A definite bright spot for this Wyfflash roster. Extremely clutch too, as that shot will be clutch from Baseball Ryan, and Wyffindor Wyfflash will take the first goal. Only a minute has gone by, but it's the ceiling shot from Brian doesn't doesn't give much of an opening for leftovers to really take them on here and, you know, getting to the ball so fast. Wyffindor Wyfflash will score first. But they may not keep this lead for long, as Brian will be required to get into that block. Tommy, midfield, Brian yet again in the play here as he'll chase down Zeal. The leftovers, not able to get back to this one. Molly, pass two, one more touch, that's in! Oh, what a play for Molly. And Wyfflash, we get a second goal. This one came out of nowhere for me. I mean, I can't believe Molly got past even two players on that little boost. And now he's added a second to one. And Wyfflash off to, I think, a expected start for a team of this caliber. I mean, again, they're one of the, you know, very few teams that have stuck around since last season. Back in the ATS Apex Cup Season 2, they were under Team Evo Bravado. They haven't changed all that much. They've just added in a sub for this season, and with the same three starting players, they're continuing to wreak havoc, and they're one of the scarier teams in this tournament, I would have to say. Just because of that team chemistry, and well, they're off to such a good start. As CeeLo 50s with Zeal, it will be left midfield as Molly gets that dunk on the Crafty, but the leftovers not on offense, not really finding much offense either. CeeLo with another demo. That will open up a good amount of space that Wyfflash is more than happy to take as yet another demo, this time from Brian. In fact, he's going to score off this. Oh, he should have. That shot wasn't good enough, and Wyffindor Wyfflash will send it all the way back. Keep up the offense. Here they go, that one. Off the corner as Tommy bumps out of the way here. Wyfflash not really in a very easy place to make things work, but they continue the challenge, continuing to keep this ball away as Molly. Brian, he's already got the beat there, but Wyfflash just playing patiently, letting time do its work. There's still half the game left here, and Wyfflash right now playing as that team to beat, but many aspects proving that that matchup, if they did have it in the gauntlet, would not have been a very close one. These two did get to play in the regular season, in the group stage format. I don't remember how that match ended, but I know for a fact, I'm almost certain Wyfflash won that one. In fact, I can confidently say they won that one. I forgot. They went undefeated until the grand finals. And this leftover side, just trying to say him, but again, it feels like, as well for this leftover team, as I mentioned already, that one of the biggest issues is just a lack, a lack of defense there as Brian, with an impeccable strike. It is 4 goals for the Wyfflash. Just, I believe that might have been an own goal from Zeal. It would have been, had Brian not got that last touch. And Wyfflash playing as that team right now. As Tommy just looking for that first for the overs here as Silu. I'll pop up to the ceiling, but is anybody back? Brian shot saved by Zeal. Has been for me, it's been a very quiet game one, but admittedly it's been heavy on the goals, at least for one of these two sides. And Wyfflash trying to find yet another one here. They are not letting go of offense this quickly as the Crafty Zeal. What a team bump there for Wyfflash will slow things down as CeeLo yet again trying to create some offense here as Brian actually has this all by himself. Ollie's up with him as well, but it's just gonna be Brian here who gets that offense started as the leftovers are just trying to wait here, but they can't wait too long. Time is running out for them here in game one. Less than a minute to go, and at this point just looking for their first goal of the series, but they may not get that here as Brian with the redirect, and he'll tap it in for his 3rd of the game, and the 5th for Wyffindor Wyfflash. Wasting no time on that chance. What a great trap down from Brian, and Wyffindor Wyfflash with quite the start in this series. 5 goals, none from the leftovers. Wyffindor Wyfflash just trying to find to get themselves out. Oh wait, the leftovers though have answered back, and their first of the series. 21 seconds to go. They can finally break through with that flip reset attempt, but my goodness, it took them quite a while to do that. And not exactly how they wanted this, series to start for them. It may be a goal, but it really doesn't feel like much for them with how this game has gone. As always, second, Molly's already up for this. Gets past two, pinched it, but no one going to support him on that one. CeeLo kept up for himself, leaves it in midfield. This one bouncing. Brian, his fourth of the game. And Wyfflash have taken yet another one. And you know what I said about this game being quiet? I scratched that. It's been 7 goals combined, 6 from Wyfflash, and 4 of them have been from CeeLo. Sorry, have been from Brian. CeeLo hasn't scored 4 goals, Brian has. Wyffindor Wyfflash with an amazing start. They're not done. Brian's gonna take another one here, and they're gonna send the leftovers to Rio de Janeiro. Wyfflash going to add more to their lead. And as this time ticks away, yet even more goes in. Now it's CeeLo who will make the difference. 7. And to have this game start off like this, there's a very clear difference between these two teams right now. They may be in the same group, but one of these teams clearly has the advantage over the other. That team chemistry, anyways, making up a lot of difference. As Wyffindor Wyfflash still want one more in this game. As if they haven't had already enough goals, they still want one more. And they nearly got it too, but Zeal and Tommy will keep it out. And Wyffindor Wyfflash will take game 1. It's a 7-goal difference. But Wyffindor Wyfflash, by far and away the better team that game. There was no contest. And with how things have been looking, the leftovers, once again, just feels like they're a bit lost. Again, they're not one of the favorite teams in this, out of House Wyffindor in this tournament. I think they're definitely, really not as I think they're already making a change here. Ark has come in, and that is one of the players on the leftovers, so we'll see who he replaces, if anyone, on that team. But after how bad game 1 was, I can see why they would want to make a roster move. See what they go with here as Zeal and Tommy both join in. Who's here with them? It is Ark. So Ark's coming in to replace LaCrafty. And for Wyffindor leftovers, it may be only a band-aid on the situation, but if they can just prevent Wyfflash from scoring that many goals against them, they're already going to be feeling a lot better about their chances. Exactly a pleasant game 1 experience for them. And it got worse as the game went on, as Tommy double tap, saved by Brian. Already leftovers off to a good start. Making chances like that as Ark, who, by the way, in the past, used to go by Arkinator, was part of Final Form Entertainment, Akuma, if I remember. Well, he's on House Wyffindor now, as Wyffindor, here's their chance for Brian! He's caught another one, and he has not missed the net. CeeLo honestly probably could have waited on that chance. He absolutely panicked, thinking someone was in net. Brian will come in to help him and put that goal in. A rescue shot that will go through for Wyffindor Wyfflash. And a goal at a desperate time in many ways, I think. I guess not that desperate. Wyfflash are playing pretty well this series. As this is actually quite desperate, as Tommy missed the net entirely there. That is a desperate time for the leftovers. Fortunately, it won't come here to help them, as it'll be Molly will chase it down. Tommy, though, finds Ark. That pinch really going all that far as Molly and CeeLo both work together. Tommy wins it out right here as Zeal already up with it, but the ball hits on a sidewall. Wyffindor Wyfflash being it away here, out of harm here. As leftovers continuing trying to just win that midfield outright, but not an easy thing to do. Especially with how their offense is. They want to attack the corner, they want to find space, but they haven't gotten any. Wyffindor Wyfflash are not really giving them a lot of space in those corners. The leftovers, while they might be winning the challenges, aren't really doing much with their offense. Once again, they'll leave it midfield. Molly, though, clears it out, finds CeeLo. He goes across for Brian! Oh, yeah! What a pass! And what a goal! Wyffindor Wyfflash. 1, 2, 3, dinger! Wyffindor Wyfflash double their lead. And off of shooting like that, Wyfflash, they consider themselves quite a strong team at this point. And the mix those packs together, that's that team chemistry that, you know, I talk about often. We don't see it shown in just that way, but this team knows each other so well. They will read each other's plays. Not that kind of chemistry with your teammate. You can kind of just know when things happen. It's an instinct. Instead of becoming something that you need to call out, it becomes something that you just know by heart. And Wyfflash right now know how they're playing by heart. As an infield play, Molly leaves it midfield. As you see CeeLo trying to push up for it. Even though Wyfflash actually pushed up quite high for that offense. They'll head back already, but not waiting in the midfield as Ryan able to get by Ark, who will get through Molly as well. CeeLo the last one there, but he'll defend that goal line. Ryan clears it out. Molly, here's a net to shoot at. But he's missed it completely. And the lead stays at 2 for Wyfflash. Fortunately for them, their defense has been solid once again, but those are the kind of chances that they definitely want to take. As now 2v1. Surely they score here. Yeah, they're not going to keep missing. And when it's Bingo Brian's ball, Bingo Brian, that's a whole different Brian. When it's Brother Brian's ball, he's not missing. Bingo Brian's a whole different Brian. That's Team Ignition. That's a whole different organization. Or I guess team now. Whoops, wrong Brian. Kind of even spelled the same way. It's spelled I-A. Brian's Y-A. This is a different Brian who is absolutely showing up here. Molly. Corner will not get very far with it though, as again, Ark. Still Brian, and with an open net to shoot at there, he'll leave it for CeeLo, and it's a 4th goal for Wyfflash. And this has been one-sided since the very beginning, and it continues to be that way. Brian's with the setup, but it's CeeLo with the finish. And it is Wyffindor Wyfflash, who just can't seem to be beat here. Again, for both of these teams, their first match of the season. For a match at the start of the season that I think we would consider very, very close, it has been anything but that. Even with past results, I think we had an idea that this might not be as close as the matches maybe we had on paper. Again, Wyffindor Wyfflash being a team that's been here before, being a team that, again, just got second in the house. Gauntlets. Wyffindor leftovers will get an answer from Zio, but they're starting this scoring very late. Very nicely made Doomsy dish. Definitely put for the leftovers. They need to do that, but earlier. They cannot wait this late to try to get goals. It's not exactly going to be helpful for them. With so little time remaining. Tommy. This one long. Now he's got Molly trapped in it. Go across the goal, Brian. Molly. Outwards for CeeLo, but Ark already there for it, leaving it. Zeal's shot saved as Molly's up quickly. Now Brian kept up in midair as Zeal will go across. Leftovers have the ball again. Ark, this one rolls down. He won't have it, and Tommy will, but it's dunked away. Everybody pushes upfield. This ball has got the net in front of it, and Wyffindor Wyfflash will be the ones to take it. 5-1. You can't blame the leftovers for sending everyone upfield, but unfortunately for them, that's the risk you take in doing that. Leftovers. It has been a rough series since the very start here. It may not be as bad as game 1, but it might as well be game 1. I think 8-1 and 5-1, while they are very different scorelines, realistically, I don't think these teams feel any different when they're losing that badly. Maybe the difference of 3 goals, but I think it feels all the same for leftovers. Once again, just getting squashed right now as the Wyfflash side It's giving them no room to breathe. Tommy gonna send us off to Zeal, but without much that he can work with. Wyffindor Wyfflash will keep it away, and they'll let it hit the ground for game 2. First game was 8-1, the second is 5-1. And Wyffindor Wyfflash, they make this a very, very quick start to their season. Two games already. And, well, I don't know what else I can say about this match except that it has been, though, in many ways unfair for the leftovers. Like, yeah, it's a tough match for the week 1. And again, initially, you know, I would have thought this would have been a relatively fun match to watch. Well, it still is fun, but I think it's only fun for the Wyfflash side and their fans. This is becoming a more one-sided match. And the more you look into it, and I think a lot of it has to do with this Wyfflash team. They have an identity. They have a playstyle. They have what it takes to be a team. They have that mental aspect. For the leftovers, they're still searching. They're still searching for what they want to be as a team. As long as they're stuck in that searching phase, they're going to have a very tough time being able to figure out what kind of playstyle they want to bring into these matches. Right now, though, the playstyle is just getting scored on as CeeLo drops it under the bar with ease. What I like about this play, though, is the touch from Molly. It's not too heavy, it's not too hard. Just left lobbed in front for CeeLo. It looks so intentional. I don't know how intentional it really was for Molly, but it's absolutely a perfect setup for CeeLo to work with. And now he's going to give it the other way here. Molly will go upfield himself off a pass from CeeLo. He's going to pinch this midfield. Cleared back by Zeal as Art has this one. Maybe going for the 50, but Brian won't give him that space. The leftovers go back, but Brian has it still. Flick to the top corner. Ark's got the block. In goes Molly. But the shot not good enough. Leftovers hanging in for now. As CeeLo again pinched in front for Brian, but no shot there, and leftovers will actually get some time upfield. But that time, not spent all that worthwhile. Azar. For a flick midfield, Molly be there to get the dunk on Zeal. And McCrafty again is subbed back in this game. They're just trying anything at this point. McCrafty, though, will force it in. It's just I don't know what it was. I think a double commit here. Oh, it totally was. It's CeeLo who obviously was very worried about that touch from Brian, as he probably should be. He was just waiting for the net. But the last thing you want to do there is miss it. This game, all tied up as Gennar coming in. He has placed Tommy, I believe, so I haven't mentioned too much about that sub early on in this game, but it's absolutely going to be a difference maker. Just how the Wyffindor leftover team feels. Again, starting from scratch, starting anew. Every game has been not very good for them. Good chance to turn things around as Molly, Ark, will find Zeal, and he's got the net in front of him. That's on. Saved by CeeLo. Follow-up shot. LaCrafty hits it wide, and everybody overcommitted. Nobody back. Molly drives it in, and Wyffindor Wyfflash take a 1-goal lead. Once again, the leftovers overcommit. And unlike last time, this one's a little more inexcusable. With the game having been tied at that point, you can't make those mistakes. Wyffindor leftovers. They're going to be very unhappy, very disappointed with that play, because that should have been a whole lot better. As now, did they all get beat up there? They did! CeeLo drives it! His second! But I don't know how on earth Brian was the first to that one. He was the fastest player up. None of the Wyffindor leftover players could get to him in time. Wyffindor Wyfflash they're definitely impressing me so far. As Brian, dribble this one. Back wall, still work with. Brian leaves it. Molly off of Brian's car. CeeLo to make it 4! And he finds a way. Yet another for the Wyfflash side, and after having such a close game, the door is broken wide open on the leftovers' goal. And Wyffindor, Wyfflash now lead by a margin that the leftovers are all too familiar with. The game has already turned itself around to reaching that point of no return for the leftovers. They've got to get goals, they've got to get them soon. They're just not making chances, they're not able to get to that net. Arc, maybe this is his chance. He's gonna double tap on it! Oh, and CeeLo stood no chance. Arc with a beautiful second tap. He never let go of the boost either on that play. Had full intention to nail that one in. He does exactly that. And for the first time in this series, the leftovers have scored twice in a game against the Wyfflash. Now they might even get a third. Zale, front post, not able to get through Molly. Ball pitched out. Oh, the Crafty couldn't get to it! And Brian waiting on the end of it. Surprisingly quiet so far this game has been Brian. He's not scored until now. He doesn't have to when his teammates have been doing so much of this heavy lifting for him. Wyffindor, Wyfflash. Still not done. That one nearly connected with Brian. Demo will open up space. The working space the leftovers can work with. CeeLo gets the interception. And now look at this. Molly's already pre-jumped on this one. He got no touch on it. Oh, but Brian will. Complete misdirection from Molly. And Wyffindor, Wyfflash score once again. And once again, the series one-sided. Leftovers have only scored 4 times. Every single game, the Wyfflash side has scored at least 5 goals. I don't know what to say anymore. Zeal, he'll drive in another one for the leftovers. They're going to pick up the shooting, but unfortunately for them, I think it's come way too late. You may have offense, but when you're down by this many goals, when you're, dropped by this many, has been a hard pill to swallow for the leftovers, but as a team, it just feels like they just are not ready right now. They don't have that identity, they don't have that, real power behind them. Unfortunately for them, their first week in the Ascent Tournament Series Season 3 is going to be about as bad as it can be. Not only are they going to be field swept here, they're going to be field swept in a match that they never even stood a chance in. Maybe they can make a 4th, they will get a 4th. As Arc will slide another, well, this game 3 has been the closest so far. It's not going to make a difference. 7 seconds to make 2 goals, that's not happening. The leftovers. Oh, for them, they maybe started to unlock Wyfflash, but they did it at the end of game 3. There won't be enough time for them to answer back. This series is over. Wyffindor, Wyfflash with a sweep win for their week 1 matchup. Again, they may have pushed it back to week 2, but before I would have said this would have been an incredible result. Now I say it's not much of a surprise to what we know out of these players. What we have seen. Oh, real surprises of this matchup. Real sweep. Wyffindor, Wyfflash. It's gonna make it a quick one. a very quick series. Wyfflash, again, who are reeling from last season's loss in the playoffs, looking to walk away here. Have not. Field sweep, a perfect start to their season. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, but for all of you who are still wondering, no, we are not done with all the matches tonight. We got another one coming up later. We are going to go offline for that before we get to that, but it will be Hunter Royals taking on Hunter 35 Mist. Another best of 5 matchup. Going to be a really fun one. Again, we're going to get them. We're going to get into a little interview here with Wyfflash, as well as in comes Molly and CeeLo. Welcome in a 3-0 sweep. You guys were here last season. You lost the playoffs. You've come back this season on a new org, but very much the same team. And you started off perfectly. A 3-0 sweep. Molly, is this the season for you three?
Out, sorry.
I'll say it again. A 3-0 sweep, a perfect start to the season. Obviously, you guys came into this reeling from your playoff loss last season on TV, I think. Yeah, we're back. Sorry about that. I think everything's good. Alright, we're back up. Disconnect there. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. That was scary. Yeah, well, don't worry. We noticed. Don't worry. We noticed very quickly that the stream disconnected for you all. So we're fine. But while we do that again, keep this going here with you, CeeLo. Again, I mean, we heard Molly talk about how this was kind of meant for fun. You guys are just here to enjoy yourselves. But you know, coming into this matchup, you guys know this level of team. There's a lot of House Wyffindor teams in this division. There's just a lot of teams as well. It's a big division with 24 teams. CeeLo, again, you guys talk about having fun. Kind of, what's the basis behind that? Because last season didn't mention too much about that. You know, what's the basis behind kind of this have fun mentality?
We're kind of taking it too seriously last season. I think that's why we kind of bombed out. We're kind of overthinking stuff. So yeah, we're just trying to take it easy this time.
Well, you guys just want to slow yourself down, take your time, play it easy, and honestly, you guys have done very well. You know, start that off. You know, I'm not going to keep you guys for too long here, but of course, you guys are not done yet. There's again a ton of different House Wyffindor teams in this event. But even, you know, importantly is that House, you know, Wyffindor gauntlet that we had, not, you know, only a few days ago. Molly, how did that gauntlet have an effect on how you guys are playing in this event?
It just kind of showed us how we were doing at the time. We hadn't played much in the off season, so we were kind of just using that as a gauge for how well we would go into the rest of it.
As you have said as well, like, you guys are just gauging, you're just kind of getting things going, but you guys started off well. Many people expect you guys to do well, and you've already started off very, very good. I feel sweet for both of you. But before we leave, you guys gotta get some shoutouts. So let's start with CeeLo. Is there anything you want to say? Any final words? Any final messages for out there for anyone who's watching? Just for out there.
Shout out my mom, and that's it.
Shout out your mom here is in this one. You gotta always shout out. You gotta always shout out the parents. I think people forget just how much the parents sometimes watch these things. Now we'll go to Molly. Molly, is there anything you have to say? Any shoutouts that you have?
Shout out to White Jets. You know, we're pretty good friends with them, and we play with them a lot. So just shout out to them.
Well, again, a good start to the season here for Wyffindor Wyfflash. A field sweep over the Wyffindor Leftovers squad. Congratulations on your win, Molly and CeeLo. Have an amazing rest of your nights, and hopefully we'll see more of you guys as the season progresses.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Field sweep there for Wyffindor Wyfflash. We're going to get a raid in here. If we can find someone. Apologies on that outage we had at the end of that stream. That is not something that happens often. But again, reminder, later tonight we'll have our next match. So while we get things sorted out, thank you all so much for being supportive. Stick around for later tonight when we're coming back with more action. See you guys very, very soon.